Okay, now I have to cut 2 inches off of each side of this cross member. Let's see how much longer it is now. Luckily, most all the holes will line up, and this hole will get cut out of the corner, so that's nice. I won't have to weld in a hole, I don't think. Okay, it looks like it's going to go right through here. I don't have a deep enough blade to cut this at that 45-degree angle. Just make sure that's square. Look at that corner's not even square originally. Anyway, cut this straight across with the bandsaw and then stand it up in the bandsaw and cut this top angle. Now if you remember, I got a shot of it, but there's a plate. Get it? This plate covers this corner. So if I screw this corner up real bad, you know, right here, at least it'll be covered by this exterior plate. Oh man, I almost screwed up bad. Oh, it's a good thing. Almost cut it opposite. Okay. Yeah, had my layout line going the opposite direction. Good thing I didn't cut it, or I'd have been screwed. Yeah, there we go. Not this way, Todd. That way, to the corner. Since I got the front done, I'm going to move to the back, and while I have the back off, there were a couple of problems that I had when they installed it. I don't know if I got it on video, but when they put the steps originally on this, they put a door that was held on by 2 cables. If you look in my previous videos, you see it, and I absolutely hated it because you would unscrew the door and then it would just fall down and like flop around down here, which made no sense to me. It would get in the way of the pull-out drawer. It was just really kind of a dumb design, but when they did that, they drilled 2 holes here, right there, and on the other side over here to put rivets in. So I figured since I had this off, I'm going to fix those 2 holes, and then, of course, when I was making the bed smaller, I forgot this bracket was under here that held one of the boxes on, and I cut right through it. So, got to fix that. So let me clean this up, and we'll flip it over, and then we'll start filling these holes in. Right now, if the hole's repaired, we're going to have to get this to go on. First thing we have to do is cut some of the length out of here. Now, before I took this off, I scribed this line on it. I don't know if you can see it right there. Right there in the corner. And that's where the layout of that piece comes down. So since that piece is in its original location where I laid the layout lines, the miter is going to start right there and go to the corner over here. So that's how much material has to come off this end, and obviously the other end too. It's almost perfect. Just have to ease these sharp edges over where I cut it. Now the only other issue I'm going to have is the flap door that folds down to reveal the stairs to pull them out. When I tap those holes, I tapped them all the way through this plate. I don't know, this must be 3/16, yeah. And then the tap went through into this bed. Now the problem with that is lining up those little tiny bolts with these original tap holes is probably going to be impossible. So I think I'm just going to drill these out There's enough thread in this piece to hold them. Drill this out and make the hole bigger so the screw has room to go in there behind it. Now you can see that hole. I don't know if you can see where it's tapped. That one's like half tapped, like only the bottom is showing where the metal is. Okay, that should open it up enough. Have some clearance for that bolt. I had to take my gloves off for this one. Oh no, that one's not that hard. Huh. Thought that was going to be more challenging. I'll leave that one loose a little bit. Next step is the tail light assembly. It is way too wide now. So what I have to do is cut this edge down over here on this side, and then I have to fit that piece on. Let's go get that corner piece. And this supports the box. These two holes are where the box is tapped into. I have the original two holes right here in the corner, so alignment isn't going to be really an issue. This is how it was originally, like this. This went down here like this. I'm sorry, I'm getting this wrong. This went down here like this. Yeah, duh, doesn't have three holes in the top. Anyway, it went down there like that. So when this moves in, just have to cope this around to the shape of this tail light, because this is going to end up about right there like that in there. Because I don't really want to redo this whole panel if I don't have to. I mean, I could fill this in and move all three taillights over that way, but a little bit of coping I think won't be too bad. It'll be lined up in between these two bolt holes anyway. Okay, I could have left some more on there. It looks like I could have left at least 1/4 inch on there, but it's not going to miss the holes. So that's going to go on there like that. Just have to tighten up the other two and then come over here where these rivets were. If you can see them up in there. There was 2 rivet holes in there. I'm just going to drill those out and put some flathead bolts in there instead of rivets. That way I can take it back off if I want to. All right, now that the tail light assembly is on there, I have to make a template, I think, for this, of the curve of the tail light. That way I have a better chance of not screwing this up so badly. Let me get my grease pencil and mark it. Hard to see that. Get a piece of paper, cut that curve out, line it up with that line, and lay it on there, and it'll be pretty close. Oh, this big fat masking tape, it just rips right off the side. So old. Right. if all my calculations are correct, that should be the shape of it. Just put it up here and eyeball it one more time. That should put it pretty close. Let me grind that. I'm not going to show you grinding this out because it's pretty boring. All right, got it ground up and polished it with the surface conditioning pad. And that's what it's going to look like. So it looks, I kind of like it. I mean, I don't mind that it's coped around there. I think it's kind of cool looking. This puts the taillight farther out on the bed. Some people might not like it, but I think it's kind of cool. So let's bolt this on. Hardest part of this is that these bolts are trapped up in here where this is going to be. So, let's see if this will hold in there. Oh, there it is. It's going to be good, I think. It's a little high. That was probably too low. Okay, what's behind there? Because I didn't think there was anything back there, but maybe. Oh, that's right, this bed. I think this bed has another layer behind it because of the turn down of the flat piece up here. Yeah, I forgot about that. The top one has that, but the bottom one doesn't. Pretty sure. These are 5/16. Originally they had tapped this on top. So I'm gonna reach in there and see if I can just put a through bolt through it and see if that'll do the job. Because a through bolt's gonna be much more secure, but maybe there's just not enough room in there where that turn down is to put a through bolt through. That's why they tapped it. They did put a tap in there, boy, it wasn't very good. Okay, there's enough room up in there to get that through bolt through there. I'll just have to put it inside that wrench and hold it up in there. So I'm just going to drill it through. You could put a stainless steel insert in there, but I think this would just be better. It's kind of a little more work to put it in there, but I think it'll pay off. Let's see if I can do it. I'll just leave the wrench in there. Come on out of there. Oh, come on. Okay, I got that out off camera. What I had to do is loosen up this bolt, which was just sticking down a little bit. The wrench was in here like this. The wrench was in here like this. So when I went to pull it off, this bolt was in the way. It was jamming right here. I just loosened this up a little and out it came. Yay! All right, I didn't tape the other side, record the other side, I should say. When I say tape, it shows my age, because it's exactly the same as the side that I recorded. So there it is. Here's the first side that we did together. And now that that's done, we're going to move on to the box. Now, the front box, which is right up there on the table, has to be test fit because we cut the width out of this. It eliminated, there was 3 holes here. 1, 2, 3, and over here somewhere. Because we moved it in, we're going to have to re-drill these 3 holes. And we have to do that before I put it on the truck because the cab's here once this is on the truck and you won't be able to drill these holes. So I have to test fit this box here, drill holes for the mounts, and get it all figured out where it's going to go before I put it back on the truck. The back ones, you can put those on after the truck's on, so I'm not going to mess with those. Alright, so this is the flange that mounts it to the outside here, so I just got to get it outside there and then mark those holes where it's going to go. Got to do the same thing on the other side and those will be done. All right, now that the flatbed is mostly finished, it's just got a few little details to put in, like this tube has to get welded in there. The other long ones need to be cut off and finished. We're going to turn back to the flatbed mounting system or the anti-vibration system that they put on here. You can see the little rubber dampers are laying over there. The parts I painted are been drying for like 3 or 4 days now. So let's put them back on.